Welcome back to Gothic Magic. I thought about it, and I'm not going to do a love spell. I don't want to mess with that. You need to remember your read, the Wiccan read. The last part, the last 8 words are the most important. And ye harm none, do what you will. You cannot mess with someone's free will. Even putting that out there to draw love toward you. If you do it for self-love, that's fine. There are plenty of spells out there and little rituals you can do for self-love. You usually use a pink candle for that. But I wouldn't do a love spell if I were you. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to do a little story time video. I'm going to put this here for love. My child gave me this earlier today. I had 2 of them. One of them fell off. Okay. So anyway, you don't want to do a love spell. I'm going to turn it this way so you guys can see it. It's a cute little Valentine monkey. Anyway, unless you're doing it for self-love, which would be pink, you really don't want to do a love spell. I will tell you how to do one. Okay? I'll tell you how. But warning, do not try at home. Do not do it. I put out a love spell back in 1996, right when I, got into the craft. It was one of the reasons I got into the craft is because I was lonely and I wanted someone in my life. So what I decided was I was going to do this love spell. And back at that time, I had a pet. I'm not going to say what type of pet because it'll give away my identity probably. It was a unique pet, but it was a female, and she was my familiar at the time. She was my familiar. She and I connected. She just resonated magical energy. Like whatever I did, I had this little box, and I would write something down and put it in there and put snip a little bit of her fur or gather some fur from her cage and put it in there. And whatever I put in that box, whatever I wished, it came true. I didn't even own a spell book or any of that. It was just natural. It came to me natural. And I would just think something or wish something and it would happen. So I wrote down something like, it's been so long ago, like bring love to me. And I did light a red candle. And then put the hair and the fur and then the thing in the box, what I wrote down, and put that under my bed. And the next day, a friend of mine said, hey, a friend of mine is having a little get-together at his house today, and it was a school day, and I had a car, she didn't, and she said, let's skip school and go. And something just said, pulled me to say yes. So instead of going to school that day, I drove to her house and picked her up, and we drove about 30 minutes to go pick up this person. Not to go pick up this person, but to go see these people. And there was this one guy there, and he was looking at me interesting, like, you know how somebody looks at you and they really look at you? He was looking at me. And, I didn't get all dolled up. I didn't have makeup on. I had on like a green Adidas suit, like a green Adidas t-shirt and green Adidas pants and my Adidas. I was just, rocking my little alternative clothing and just chilling that day, comfy. And I wasn't really out thinking it would work that day or looking for someone. But I knew that I had put that out there. So what I was doing was just hanging out, chilling that day, and he and I ended up in his room together. It actually was at his house. His friend was having the thing at the friend's house. So the friend, we'll call him T. We'll call him T. That has nothing to do with his real name, because I don't want to give away his real name because he's actually even been in the newspapers. But so T and I began a relationship. It was very fast. It was like speed of lightning love between us. It was unlike anything I'd ever felt before. I was young, but I'd had boyfriends and I'd been in love before. That teen love, puppy love thing. I'd been in love, so I knew what it felt like to me. And I was in love with this person, and this person loved me an irrational amount. And the person Started off really sweet, treating me like a goddess, and then the person accepted my religion. They accepted everything about me. They didn't have any problem with me at all. Everything I did was perfect. It was great for about 6 months. And then about into the 7th month, he started to verbally abuse me. Verbally, just saying mean things, hateful things, some of the most vile things you can say to another human being. He would say those things to me. Well, after that, about a year into the relationship, it got physical. He would hold me down and, perform sexual acts. He would hold me down and try to choke me. He would punch me in the face. He got worse and worse and worse. And then up until about the 3rd year, and the reason I stayed was because he would threaten my family with violence, and I knew he had it in him. I'd seen his gun collection. I know that for a fact that he had robbed people before. He and his brother and him robbed people before. I'd seen them come home with money and stuff that they didn't have when they left. I knew he was violent, and I didn't want that to hurt my family. So I decided that I was going to stay. No matter, I just took one for the team, basically, because I didn't want my family involved. So by the year 4, he had pulled a gun on me, and he was really drunk, and he held the gun up to me, and he called me some names, and he actually tried to shoot me. The gun went off. The bullet missed my head by about an inch and went through the wall. It actually ended up landing in his sister's room, and if she had been there that night, it would have gone right through her body. So, thank goodness she wasn't there that night. It would have been very tragic. It would have been tragic if he had hit me, but even more tragic if he killed his younger teenage sister. But she was spending the night at her friend's. So, it took me so long to get rid of him. He would slip my tires. Even after we broke up, he would stalk me. He would sit in front of where my sister worked and tell me that he would call me and tell me what she was wearing that night. Of course, she had a uniform, but what pants she had on, how her hair was styled, and tell me he was going to shoot her if I didn't meet him at his house in so long. And so I would go. My family is very important to me, and I wouldn't dare put them in harm's way, but I unleashed this floodgate. I unleashed it with all of my will that I put into that box that night. I basically asked for it. I didn't know what I was asking for. I didn't know the read. I didn't know these things. But I didn't put it on a particular person. If you're ever thinking of putting a love spell on a particular person, you are effing crazy. Do not do that. That person will probably end up killing you. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do, like in the movie The Craft, the first Craft, which was one of the things that got me into witchcraft was that movie, because I thought, oh, that's interesting. It just drew me in. It spoke to me. And it's still one of my favorite movies to this day. But what happened to the character Sarah, it will happen to you if you do a love spell on someone against their free will. Okay? Remember that. And ye harm none. Ye harm none. Do what you will. You can't go around messing with people's free will. You just can't. If you have the ability, which a lot of us do, you can't. So I wrote down a love spell, what you can do if you're interested. Still, after I've warned you, do not do this. But I feel like I just want to, you can use this on yourself. You can use this on yourself. So this is a love spell that you can do for yourself. But imagine this is pink. So we're going to put Mr. Pink on here because I don't have any pink candles. I haven't done a self-love spell in a while. So, pink. Okay. You would need some cinnamon, some rose petals, rosemary, pink rose petals for self-love. Lavender. You could use red rose petals if you're going to go the crazy way. Please don't. Some lavender, some tea, It can be green tea, peach tea. You're going to need some honey, peppermint, and grind them together clockwise. Put it in a pink, red sachet or bag. Take a bath with the sachet, and that's giving you the element of love. And then for the red candle, you're going to anoint the candle. You want to also do this after sunset, any kind of love spell, even if it's self-love. And you would say something like, and I'm not doing this spell, goddess. I'm not doing this. I'm reading from this piece of paper. I ask the power of love and light to bring me, I don't even know what that word says, to bring me opportunity for love and romance. I affirm that I participate in love. I am open to love, and I ask that it come to me for the greater good. So mote it be. I'm taking that last part out. I didn't just say so mote it be. Okay? Or that was kind of more of a self-love thing, which you could tailor that to do with the red candle and try to draw someone to you, but never do it on a particular person. Next, you can do an apple with honey. You're going to cut the apple in half and hollow it out a little bit. You're going to carve a love sigil in the words and say, bring love to me, in a red or a candle. Or you can write love and lust. And then you would say, by this apple and honey sweet, may your true love you soon meet. I'm going to say this in the first person. By this apple and honey sweet, may my true love I soon meet. I call on the powers of Venus, goddess of love, and I ask for my soulmate to be sent to me from above. Then he, if you're a female, will be full of protection and will provide me full of love and light and be my future, and my future will be ever so bright. And I'm not saying SMIB again. And then you could charge that with some Vespa powder. You would put that in the apple in a cauldron and put some Vespa or something that will light. You can put it on charcoal and set that on fire. I saw a witch do that, and I thought, no, don't do that, because she was doing it for someone else. And I thought, no, you're going to ruin that person's life. Stop it. But just don't do that. Don't do that. You can also use the same ingredients and use a candle that's in the shape of a man and a woman, like a red candle that's in the shape of a man and woman, you know, kissing or hugging. They have those. And carve the love sigil into that and put the rose petals and sage around it. And then carve their full name into the candle. This is the one I don't want you to do. I don't even know why the hell I'm telling you how to do it. Focus your energy and say, flames of passion, romance grow. I open my heart to love. The open path will show. May this flame of passion burn within love from me, burn within your heart. From me, you will not part. That's just crazy. Please don't say this. Let all aspects be true and right. Free will remains with all this night. Let this spell not turn on me and harm no one. SMIB. You can say in a spell for it not to harm anybody, but if you're opening a floodgate of love, you're harming somebody because you're messing with their free will. You are. And ye harm none. Ye harm none. Do what you will. Love spells harm. Love spells harm. So I've decided, instead of doing a demo love spell, that I'm going to do my 2 little red candles in their candle holders for my in bulk table for Brigid, instead of the ones that I already bought, because these are so cute. And they won't burn. They'll burn through the February 1st and 2nd, and that's perfect for me. So anyway, just guys, please heed caution if you're considering doing a love spell. If you're lonely, you will meet that person. I have been through so many crappy relationships in my life. Like, when I say crappy, I mean even and then even some other abusive, verbally abusive. And then one night I was out somewhere and just met the man of my dreams, and we've been together for almost 20 years now. You don't need a love spell. Do a different spell. Do a self-love spell. Do a self-love spell. Do a peace spell. Do a meditating spell with a blue candle. Do a money spell for yourself with a green candle. Do something else. But this is just a warning not to do a love spell. I know that I said in the haul that I was going to use these to show you how to do one. I'm not going to F with that. I'm not going to mess with it. Especially because I'm married. I don't want to turn my husband into some attacker because he is the sweetest man I've ever met in my life. I'm not going to change that. I'm sorry. Sorry. But anyway, guys, I hope you're not pissed. You can look up plenty of love spells, but this is just a warning. Don't do it. Don't do it. Your prince will come. Your prince will come. But that's all I've got to say about love spell, guys. Just don't forget those 8 words, and ye harm none, do what you will. You know those words. Keep those words. Hold those words close to your heart. If you don't remember any other part of the Wiccan read, you need to make sure that you know that part and you take that part to heart. But that's all, guys. Thanks for watching Gothic Magic, and I will see you soon. Bye.